Hello, viewers. I'm SB.
I'm Amabel.
Are you sure?
What are we looking at here?
Welcome back to 4X School, Total Warham, etc. This is just the Chaos Wastes doing what the Chaos Wastes do. I wanted to call attention to it. This is just like a crack in the world that's a little bit west of our armies, and it's like that in there. It's like an eternal tornado of swirling chaos magic.
Yeah, wow.
The Chaos Wastes, everybody. All right, so we are
Is that what a goatsy is?
if you add a couple of big hands, don't forget the ring. Yeah, it's pretty similar. I almost said a thing that I definitely don't want to say before the 1 minute advertiser threshold. All right. We are avenging ourselves currently upon the Chaos Forces who dared to stab us in the back. And so let's send Curdlore forward to have a look at what's going on at the Writhing Fortress. Is this place rife for vengeance? It seems to be undefended by stacks, but unfortunately it has a massive garrison. And the garrison has a lot of pretty good units in it. There's a weird number of chariots for a city defense force. And there are some marauders, but there's also a lot of proper chaos warriors and 2 units of real chosen. We could take it.
Yeah.
But it's certainly not the most trivial. And we can't take it this turn, critically. Can you get... It looks like no, you cannot quite get into range to do anything to it. So why don't you head up this way, just see where else their armies might be. Now keep in mind, he has 3 settlements and we don't know where the other 2 are. This feels like it's probably his proper capital. And you can see it has the spiky indicators around it telling us it's his capital.
Okay.
Telling us it's his current capital, I believe. But I think it probably is his actual starting capital and not just something he took. He's basically willing to agree to peace. In fact, it looks like his bar went down a little bit. He's not at war with anybody else. It shouldn't have. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with him. The important thing is we're putting ourselves in position to fuck him up next time. We're not actually replenishing right now. Can I step just across the border and go into... Take that. Wow, his income in this region is much better. That's actually a very significant amount of raid. Okay, cool. Yeah, so enjoy that. Raid away. And we have gotten our extra slots here. So, 400 infections. I forgot that it was twice as expensive to start these upper buildings. But we got to do this, right? We got to get some of these upper buildings going. These are going to give us access to stuff like, for some reason, Marauder Horsemen of Nurgle, which I don't think are very good, but also better, like, Toad Cavalry, Pox Riders, Plague Drones of Nurgle, which are, like, powerful giant mosquito units. Pretty scary. Real Chaos Knights, real actual Chaos Knights. More Rot Knights just from our pool instead of having to spend dominance on them. Rot Knights, obviously, we know are very, very good. But actually, it's this one that I'm more interested in, the Monsters pool. First of all, Plague Ogres. Secondly, Soul Grinders. These are effectively our form of artillery. These units with these powerful arm cannons. You can see 360 range.
Okay.
With these big anti-infantry explosive shells, just like spreading plague all over the place. But also, the Great Unclean One. This is the, like, primo Nurgle demon. This is the worst thing that you can have to deal with. Toad Dragons probably are also very awesome. But a Great Unclean One will fuck up a battlefield in a very serious way. And I would like to be present for that fucking up. How much money does it cost to get one of those big buildings established? Oh, none. It's just the... Okay. Well, that's cool. We can pursue more income generation and also more income generation. I think we'll focus on that for right now. And, of course, stealing money from Archaon. Because he is a stupid child and he does not need it. As long as we don't see an apocalypse army come out of the fog to our west here, I think we can probably just attack the Writhing Fortress this coming turn. We don't need to stop and build up siege weapons because we got like dinosaurs and shit. We will simply charge the gates. Unfortunately, we don't have any ranged units or anything. We don't have an ability to interfere with a settlement in any way other than just hurl ourselves against it at maximum speed. But unfortunately, here comes Archaon, and it looks like his army is made up of like proper units again. God, maybe you guys could just like declare war on somebody else. Go fight that Norskin faction. They don't have any armies anymore. Just take their shit. Actually, that would be really great if the orcs could attack the monument to Bubonicus, the monolith of Bubonicus, rather, and just make this not my problem. That would be really cool. Can they be talked into this? What if I ask you to join my war against Cole? Oh, okay. I have to right, because they're a garrison, they're a sub-faction. I can only ask you to join the war as a whole, and you're not into it. I suppose that makes sense. It's a pretty scary faction. So they're trying to run in to reinforce. Okay, he's got some good stuff, and he's got his regiments of renown, but this is a significantly weaker force. Again, we're seeing warhounds and marauders and stuff. I kind of think, well, we can definitely just prevent him from getting through the pass, right, with our zone of control. Maybe what we do is we ignore the Writhing Fortress for now, just run up to here, you know?
Okay.
Trying to see, okay, if I do this, if I do it right here, we have 26 movement left. We'll just set an ambush in the middle of the road in the open. 45% success chance. Even if he sees through it, he still can't get within range of the Writhing Fortress. So he either has to go back or he has to engage with us directly. I do not think engaging with us directly will work for him right now. He is too badass to assault his units, but I got a 1 in 3 chance of killing his exalted hero. I'll take it. Let's take the swing. Okay, the assassination was a failure. The information gained, though, I would categorize as a success. So we know he's putting troops together at the Burning Monolith, and the Howling Citadel is his other settlement. The Burning Monolith itself, it looks like it's just a Chaos Altar. The Writhing Fortress has a little bit of recruitment tech in it. Actually, no, this is just... It's possible, I don't understand. Their recruitment might be non-standard. So I'm looking at these buildings and they don't say that they give units, but who knows. So yeah, maybe we'll have to destroy all of his stuff. I was kind of hoping, like we did with Mazdamundi in that previous game, to be able to hit him in the troop infrastructure somewhere, but it looks to me like we are probably just going to have to take all his stuff. It would be extremely, extremely cool if he did not see through the ambush and he just rode into the open mouth of my dinosaur.
Yeah. Dinosaur would love that.
Okay, weird thing for the camera to do. All of a sudden, zoom to the corner of the world. He actually did not see through the ambush. We're still in stealth mode. But he just turned around anyway. Okay. Gulgas Doomborn rode to exactly the edge of the ambush area without seeing through it. Weird. What a strange coincidence. And he's starting to raise an army in the fortress itself. And then over here we're seeing Village the Curseling. That is a Tzeentchian army there. Obviously we don't get along with Tzeentch very well. And I guess these guys are just trying to draw all their forces closer together. It's good news for me. If we can put them all on one side of our territory, then we can either ignore them or wipe them out in sort of one fell swoop. Oh, hey. It's Hama Spearbreaker, and he probably wants his city back. Alright, the good news is that we have 200 infections and could pursue that technology. The bad news is all of a sudden we want a whole bunch of infections for things. So they did run 2 of their half-recruited armies up here to, I guess, to reinforce Malefac's Rune Smasher. So, I mean, we're going to kill these guys, right?
Yeah.
This is free food. Yep, devoured both armies, trivially. Infections, please. Killed a bunch of guys. Got a Nurglish familiar. This might look like a common toad, but if you listen carefully, you may hear the words of the Fly Lord himself, uttering whispers of corrupt decay, which for some reason improves your campaign line of sight. Whispers of corrupt decay and also accurate intelligence on the position of your enemies. Do frogs know things? Do we think frogs are one of the wisdom animals?
Good question.
I gotta be honest with you. I wouldn't necessarily expect so.
No, I don't. They always look kind of. It looks like they're not paying attention.
Yeah, they look
more so than most lizards.
They look quite disinterested, I would say. Nothing around me is happening that I care about. Is our Exalted Hero ever going to get another mount? Okay, yeah. We'll get upgraded from a chariot, which I'm very nervous about, to a proper rot beast at rank 16. Next level, in fact. And then we can fall back. It looks like we could reach Hama Spearbreaker. But my inclination is definitely to put pressure on the fortress. It's interesting that Malefac's Rune Smasher spawned here and then went into march mode instead of, like, mustering.
Yeah.
Can you put some pain on this garrison? Curdalor, sneak into the city and just, like, burn down a tavern or something. Success!
Yay!
Yeah, okay. Took half health off of a couple of units of Chaos Warriors with halberds. That's actually meaningful. Alright, we know that Archaon does not have a lot of movement speed. I am thinking we just take this now.
Okay.
A close victory, but you know, then we're sitting in a friendly settlement and we get all that replenishment and we get 29 infections and we get some fealty for our Chaos Dwarf and we get a gleaming pennant. It's not a very good banner. We get a rot beast. We get the rotting riders. Let's definitely fix this. And then this thing's tier 3, so in theory it could hold one of these, except, you know, where am I going to get all these infections?
Yeah.
So what else would I want to build here? Probably a defensive structure. Probably try to get some feet under this thing as quickly as we can. And also infections. God, we need infections. All right, maxing out our general success chance booster, which is not huge, but it will save us a lot of money over the long run, at the very least. All right, so we've maxed out the boost for the melee. We need 3 more skill points spent in order to access Blight Swarm. So, do we want defense and weapon strength up for our monster type units? Although notably not including the giant. Melee attack and stuff up for our flying units, which we don't have any of. Speed up for our direct monster type units, the toads, the spawn. Don't really have any of that either. Okay, yeah, so kind of an unimpressive stat boost for our smallish number of cavalry. It's the best we can do. Okay, speed up and charge bonus up for all units in the hero's army. Kasich has a red line here that he can pursue real quick. Just trying to make everybody powerful. Deadly onslaught for our man. Just hit real hard for 30 seconds out of every 90 seconds. I will say this is not the fastest replenishment I've ever seen. Okay, 10% damage bonus for all missile units within 35 meters of Izar. The one gunpowder unit that we have access to. Yeah, this is really this was more losses than I was expecting from the auto resolve result. So like,
Yeah.
I think I want to get Contagious Horde. I know I'm delaying our troop building, but we're gonna have to earn it, the other way. And while we're talking about replenishments and stuff and troops, hey, guess what? We're over 7 dominance.
Oh,
It might be time to pick up a new friend. So we know that we're going to be researching technologies. Yeah, that's fealty. We're not going to be fighting any elves, certainly. You have a pretty good. So if I'm remembering correctly, these guys are just kind of generally pretty good against heavily armored units, which obviously suits us pretty well in this moment. Yeah. All right, Muppet.
Yay!
Welcome aboard cataclysmic. That's what he said. Though the Famir were long since abandoned by the malevolent gods of chaos, the mysterious power of their bale-fiend sorcerers are still frequently used in the service of the ruinous powers. Their power are used, Amabel.
Okay.
Among these dark magic users, there are few more dedicated to the cause than Quetzalcoatl Fimdurak. A bale-fiend of rare skill and intelligence, he is prophesied by the Miarg to restore greatness to the Famir clans. No, nobody truly knows the name of this thing. The guy who was saying it was killed halfway through. So now we all just say, yes, the Miarg. Thus, a glorious destiny calls him forth on a quest of great importance to understand the deepest arcane law of the word and wreak havoc in the name of his long overlooked race. Okay. Welcome aboard. Income up from sacking settlements, faction-wide. I would love to fold you into this army, probably, rather than having you run around. Additional replenishment rate for troops. And then spells. So this guy knows Melkoth's Mystifying Miasma, a damage spell that also dramatically reduces the speed of the affected units. Smoke and Mirrors will give our whole army a speed boost every time we cast a spell for 24 seconds. Notice turn speed plus 10%. We don't talk about turn speed a lot, but it is a real sort of concern in the game. Like, units with bad turn speed obviously have trouble pursuing and changing targets and stuff.
Okay. Yeah.
And then we got 2 more skill points to spend. So I love Penumbral Pendulum as a spell. I don't know that it's the best spell. This gives massive leadership and armor penalties. The Enfeebling Foe, as you might imagine, another debuff. Big attack and defense debuff. But the Penumbral Pendulum is an insane pendulum. You'll see. We're going to use it. I love it very much. It's just a very dramatic spell. And I think we're probably going to go ahead and kick out that unit of Pestigors finally for our new man here.
Okay.
Welcome aboard. Yeah, wow, you can really feel the difference in that replenishment rate already. So now we have a proper spellcaster. Jeez Louise. That's what you said to me?
It is.
You got something you need to get off your chest, Amabel?
Oh, I just saw that the you just said the replenishment, and I was agreeing with you.
Okay. I guess we don't really need a Warpstone Locust, I don't think, but it unlocks the kind of hero that we don't have any of yet. And then we're going to build an infections building here as well. All right. Trying real hard to drive up my number of infections per turn, because it turns out you just need huge amounts of them. All right, so the loss of the Writhing Fortress hopefully will hit Archaon pretty hard. I don't know that it's necessarily going to drive him to charge at us recklessly, but wouldn't it be sick if he did? Also,
Yeah.
as we continue to wipe out Chaos forces, we are driving Kha'Zix's fealty rapidly toward the next threshold. I think we only need like 6 more points at this point.
Okay.
We get a point every time we fight a Chaos or Norscan army. We get a point every time we drop a plague. So, actually, no, we probably need fewer than 6 points, right? Because we got 3 points that turn. We fought, well, I guess I engaged in 2 battles. We defeated 2 armies and a garrison, but we probably only got 2 points because it was 2 different battles. Still pretty good, and we were at the halfway line already at least. This, unfortunately, is gonna drive me to run in the wrong direction to correct it. Tamarkan is present in regions during building construction. He is becoming a good overseer of construction projects. All right, we got our Contagious Horde unlocked. Capture and occupy the burning monolith for some money. Listen, I would love to do it. Let's run Curdalor over there. Try to get vision of what Archaon's up to. So Archaon moved back in this direction, but not very much. Their new replacement lord is Veritas Humongous. That's fun.
All right. Okay.
Let's see here. So we kind of still don't. Yeah, I kind of still don't know what I want to be doing in a lot of these slots. Just kind of waiting on our infections and our important buildings. I guess I could be building like this settlement doesn't have an infection building, and we could fix that. Our income's getting a little bit better. It's still definitely nowhere near what we would need to run another army. Sadly, Bastion is just outside of our range. What we can do here, I think, is step forward a little bit.
Okay.
I don't want to go too far. We'll step to like here. We'll go into ambush mode in a place that's low percentage, but it's also far enough away from armies that there's nobody to check. There's nobody to roll checks against us. So we just won't be visible to the enemies here. We can reach the Bleeding Spire from here, so if Bastion takes it and sits there next turn, we can run down, wipe him out. If Archaon draws closer, we can make the move on him instead. We'll just kind of like see what they want to offer us here. And, of course, we will continue research. So, improvements to our commandments. We should probably switch some of our things. So we have a lot of both of our settlements. I was going to say a lot. We don't really have that much land. We have both of our provinces, I think. Oh no, we only control one province, right? Because we didn't end up taking the rest of this thing. We ended up letting the orcs keep it. So in this province, we're still Plague God's Nursery. But it is true that one of these generates infections. Yeah, I'm gonna switch. We really do need everything we can get. And that does motivate me to take this for an additional 5 infections per turn. What is after this stuff? Cycle time down for basic military buildings is very significant. Recruitment health plus 5% for all units. That's kind of cool. Plus 1 Nurgling units summonable when plague is spread to owned settlements and armies. That's weird. And then it expands into plus 15 to play when a plague is spread to own settlements and armies. That's kind of cool. Adds an additional blessed symptom when generating plagues. I don't know. A lot of these are they're fine. Plague immunity duration down and plague duration up. That's all good, I suppose. More health and stuff. Ability Greater Gate of Nurgle for cultists in garrisons. They can summon a Great Unclean One. So this effectively adds a Great Unclean One to every garrison that has that one defensive building.
Okay.
That actually seems very significant. And then Curse of the Slug is just upkeep minus 7% everywhere. Yeah, I kind of want to push this way. At the very least, we should get to Tumorous Squirt to get the cycle time reduction.
You Tumorous Squirt.
And then we probably don't want to spend 400... Man. Infections. There's so many. There's so many things that we need to spend infections on all of the time. So yeah, you can see here, the circle. I forgot to check the actual number, but his circle's getting full. We are doing good work in the name of Khazak the Befouled. All right, we just really want... What I would love here is for Bastion to decide to fall back for no reason, and for Archaon to come forward. It does feel like the
Perhaps sent you here to die.
He's not feeling so good about this war. No, we're not done. Ah, he rides forward.
You were saying before he interrupted you.
It does feel like the Savage Orc clan could declare war. Now that we've driven down the strength of all these factions by so much. I don't know that we're lucky enough for them to do that, but it feels like it wouldn't be totally unreasonable. Yep, that's a very clean victory for you and your many skin wolves. Many skin wolves. But just a sack and retreat, not a conquer, not a raise. And then he rides further into our territory. Oh, really? Okay. Archaon saw through our ambush. The Nemesis crown has been claimed by the Deceivers, the Changeling. That doesn't mean anything to me. Alright, fortunately Archaon did not see us until after he had ridden forward. So, I mean, I really do want to have this army just push. Yeah. Falling back to clear Bastion is such a pain in the ass. But the loss of the Gallows Tree would be also a big pain in the ass. Yeah, I don't like that at all. Kill Anar Death Dealer. Damn it. Curdlor, you know, we don't ask a lot of you. It's basically like the same couple things over and over again. I just really wish you could be bothered to succeed at things. All right, that's not going to be sufficient.
At them, my host.
Goodbye, Archaon. Yeah, those more casualties than I would like. I will absolutely take your 39 infections. Man, his armies always have so much favor. His armies grant us so much favor, I guess is what I should be saying.
Isolation for all.
All right, so working on this. Kasich is feeling big and strong, so weapon strength up for cavalry and chariot units. Melee defense and attack for cavalry and chariot units. Or better training. Recruit rank up and cost down for cavalry and chariot units. And once we spend 3 points in that box, we can get the ability... Okay, so he himself causes terror, and all of our cavalry and chariots cause terror. You know, more melee attack gets the job done. Where the job is murder. We'll just dip back across the line into our own territory here, so that we have some good replenishment. What now? Well, we can get the last point of training. Infernal Champion is just plus 10% weapon strength. That seems pretty good too. Let's get the training though. Help push XP for everybody else. You are working toward your restock, so Gunsight gives you 10% range. And then, yeah, reload time reduction to follow, I think seems very, very good. You get to take the last point in Penumbral Pendulum, which is going to be real strong. And we're in pretty great shape. If he does keep riding south, I think we do have to turn around. Like, I would love to have the answer to this problem be, you know, the conjuring of a temporary defensive army, but I don't know if we can get away with that with our temporary defensive army coming in at half health and everything. How much would it cost us to put up another lord? So our upkeep would go up by 400 for just the lord. And then we'd have to jam units under the cat. We really cannot afford to run another army. Yeah, it's pretty bad news. I think we are going to just not bother repairing that stuff because he might just take it again. He might just double back, you know? That would be a lot better for us than if he continues running forward. I don't want to even fall back to the Bleeding Spire, but I probably will if he does fall back.
Nurgle is more patient than I.
Uh-oh. The end of the non-aggression pact. Can I tell you, I'm a little surprised.
Yeah.
That's tantamount to a warning. From orcs, it's very unusual. Kind of expect them to just go, oh, by the way, we're fighting now. Okay, he is riding back. Not even to take the Bleeding Spire. He's riding further back than that. Curious. Okay, the Winds of Pain. This is one of those brutality for everybody events. This time it's just big magic up. Use spells to kill each other. All right, I hate to give Chaos more time to recover, but I do think we gotta do this. And here comes Crom, trying to spy on us. Stop him! Yay! A successful removal of an enemy agent. What more could you really ask for?
No, I mean, that's pretty much it.
I'm going to not spend anything else here. I'm trying to, at this point, trying to save up enough bank that we could run a temporary army for a couple of turns if we had to.
Okay.
Not that I think it would necessarily have a huge effect on things, but we might be able to, slow down the oncoming orc wave or whatever. Okay, no orc armies visible at our borders just yet. They're thinking about attacking us. They're not yet attacking us.
Are we going to go below 100? Go below 100? Come on.
You will be fuel for the rot.
Oh, what is this? They would pay me 300 gold for a non-aggression pact. You know what? At this point, sure. Okay, he's in march mode, so he's going to lead us way back. That's annoying, but I find it unlikely that he outruns us. We're much faster than he is. The Great Swelling. Not reading any of the text. Growth up in all provinces or Nurgle corruption in all provinces. Well, that's going to be nurture the growth. We love to nurture growth.
Now, are you not reading the text for me?
Yup.
Okay. You would be reading the text yourself if okay. That's very sweet.
I mean, it's legitimately really gross. It's really gross stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, let's grab Infernal Champion. A little bit of bonus damage. Normal movement speed, and
For our warriors.
tell me we can catch him.
Rupture the
Looks like
defenses.
just barely. Alright. Yep, that's an easy chomp. Fresh fish, easy chews. 46 infections. Hell yeah. We've almost hit our 400 for our new building. We have become an assault expert. Maximum bonuses when attacking. We've executed captives after battle multiple times. We sure have. Enemies don't care for that.
To the beat of the war drums.
Yeah,
I would feel bad doing that.
Of Nurgle.
well. Why would we? We're not feeling bad. We're performing acts of devotion, right? Like,
Yeah. Well, this is why I'm an atheist. You know,
this is it. We finally figured it out. All right, evasion, a little bit of bonus movement speed. Oh, sorry, you have another point here. The Quetzak Fimdirak, sometimes called the Restorer. The Quetzak Fimdirak is a male Famir shaman of singular power. Oh, so it's not the guy's name, it's like his position. Interesting.
okay.
Occam's Mind Razor. Big damage bonus for friendlies. The Pit of Shades is a pretty fun spell, but it is another huge damage spell, so I'm going to focus on... We have a huge damage spell already. I'm going to focus on something else here. Okay, so you guys are going to be back at full health and ready to rampage. Kasich is at 10 of 13, and when he reaches 13, that's going to trigger the devoted battle, I believe. So we actually are just about ready to see our first of those. I'm excited for it, personally.
Yeah. Me too.
We managed to drive our passive infection income up to 55 already. We're getting there. Curd the lore. Can get better at assaulting units. So assassinate, when you improve it, improves the likelihood of success. Assault garrison and assault units do not. They instead improve the total amount of damage you do when you get a success.
That makes sense.
I guess let's run you forward. Let's try to get some more forward intelligence here. Okay, that's the Monolith of Festerlong. Do we know where their other settlement is yet? We don't. It looks like this region. Okay, this is the Howling Citadel region over here. So far away. We definitely don't want to pursue peace. We want to make sure we get 3 more points of relevant fealty here. I didn't look at the actions available to us from our new friend. He will be able to reduce enemy army movement range. Enemy armies starting in a turn in the same province as his army. That's pretty great. And he'll also be able to provide the Dance of Despair. Huh. The wizard produces a stringless fiddle and plays a haunting dirge to drive all sense of hope and urgency away, rendering the foe passive and prone. Bizarre. It's a big leadership reduction and then a removal of the things that cause leadership to not work normally. Mechanically, that's very interesting. All right, I think we're good for right now. Well, we can repair these buildings. We are now sure these buildings will not just get immediately redestroyed. We can upgrade this. We should probably upgrade this. And, more infections. More infections is more good. I will say this is a very annoying war because of the way the mountains are set up here. The fact that they essentially have, 2 pathways and there's enemies in both directions, and we keep having to swap which side we're on to deal with oncoming armies is a real pain.
Yeah.
It makes it very hard to progress past the bottlenecks because as soon as you go into one of them, you're leaving the other one wide open. We are at 98, by the way. We are fewer than 100 factions. Are the Dim Suns... Okay, yeah, the Dim Suns did declare war on them. So that's fantastic. That gives our enemies another thing to worry about. Another thing to focus on. Here comes the forces of the Tong, which is the other Norskin faction that the warriors of the Apocalypse have vassaled to them. A storm darkens the skies, but instead there is no lightning. Instead there comes a hail of... Okay, it's gross. Cycle time down for advanced buildings. Okay, hey, 400. Let's go ahead and start production of our fancy monsters building. All right, we're gonna see our advanced units at some point. We're getting closer. So do I want to head? I mean, I want to come up here. I want to go to the Burning Monolith. It's going to take us a little while to get there, but I would love to finish off this one faction entirely.
Yeah.
We should grab Tumorous Squirt then for the recruit rank and the cycle times. 3 more points. 3 more points. Yeah, you tell him, buddy. Do you have any characters to assassinate? You don't. I guess just come over here and hurt these guys. It feels a little not valuable to perform assault units on somebody who's sitting inside of a friendly settlement, because they're just going to heal that all off immediately. Although it turns out, if your assault fails, it doesn't even matter. They have pre-healed that damage. Or perhaps it is more fair to say that I pre-healed the damage for them. I'm really trying to get this done quickly. Trying to, at the very least, burn out the warriors of the apocalypse quickly because, you know, the Grimgore thing, it's just a matter of time, right?
Right.
The fact that he thought to cancel the non-aggression pact means he is considering the murders. All of the murders.
Did he cancel it or did it just expire?
They don't expire.
Okay.
Okay, that dimmed sun's army was just defeated straight up by a very weak and badly beaten Aslog Gorax. Because it turns out a full stack of tier 1.5 infantry is not a real army. A hymn to decay. We can lower recruitment costs for great unclean ones for 10 turns, or we can get ourselves a plague ridden. Obviously, we don't have the ability to recruit great unclean ones, so lowering the cost of doing so doesn't do anything. Alright, let's take a normal walk up here. We can't get any more aggressive than this. Alright, 50% ambush chance, you know? It's pretty bad. I guess you could, like, pick on the garrison here? I don't know. This isn't even really a valuable action. It's just about generating XP for Curd the Lore. Which he does still get when he fails. Although certainly less. Yeah. Ah, well, it's fine. Okay, so we got another plague ridden, and you know what? This is actually probably a pretty good time for another one. We are going to need a southern scout. Somebody's got to keep an eye on these orcs. When we get to 200 infections again, we know what we want to build in this slot. I'm feeling really good, though. I feel like we're finally getting our settlements sort of up and running.
Mm-hmm.
Feels like it's taken forever, this game, but we are getting there. I'm okay actually spending basically all of our money because we have some real income now. And I expect Veritas Humongous will see through our ambush thing here. But I hope he doesn't, because if he doesn't, he won't run away. And I would love to get a hold of him in the settlement. Because I'm sure we can put this army down trivially. The Burning Monolith doesn't have much in the way of defenses. It's an unwalled, minor settlement. So we should be able to just roll through, eat that whole army while burning the thing, and then hopefully on to what remains. Oh, it's Archaon! and not having seen the ambush, Archaon rides with an army that's almost entirely regiments of renown. Including some weird spawn and some swords of chaos and whatnot, into a terrible, terrible ambush, whereupon he is consumed. He yields very little in the way of infections or favor, frankly.
Well, that's rude.
At this point, the Chaos Gods are starting to believe that he is a chump, and as such, they are no longer impressed when he is defeated, which I think is very fair. Yeah, I think we overcommitted with that one. Oh, the Deceivers lost the Nemesis crown somehow. I'm sure whatever's going on over there is fascinating. Uncle Furuncle, the Great Unclean Regiment of Renown, has been made available. The dim suns were properly destroyed by our enemies. It's fine with me. Alright, you get your Blight Swarm, which is a spreading melee defense reduction chain hex. And also... Okay, so the second red box, we've talked about this before, right? The second box in the red line gives considerably better boosts, and it gives them all for a single skill point, but it only affects units that are rank 7 or above in your army. So that's units that have leveled up to gold. Regiments of Renown always are rank 9, so they always receive the buffs. But you can see a lot of the units in our army have been here long enough that they have legitimately hit these levels. So Putrid Resistance. This is a buff for monsters. Where is That's airborne eggs, but it also includes the ogre and frog units for some reason. So here we go. The melee buff. Speed plus 15%, melee attack plus 5, missile resistance plus 15% for all of the melee in the army that are rank 7 or above. It's not too bad for one skill point. You have all of this balance. Recruit rank up is pretty fun, but so is murdering people.
Yeah.
We'll get our recruit ranks. I'm not worried. Okay. Iber Painbringer just hit level 20 and has become immortal. Pretty great news, I think. I was a little worried about him getting scratched in combat, even though he is like a good fighter, because of the chariot. Now that he's on a rot beast, I think he's probably not very likely to die in the first place. You know what? Let's lower the miscast chance of all of our spells. And then, yeah, it seems to me it should be pretty easy to just run in here and take things down.
Yeah.
In fact, it was just empty. Okay. Friendly settlement replenishment. Very impressive. And let's grab Curdlelore. See if we can get eyes on the Howling Citadel here. Ah, this is the Citadel itself. Built to funnel the tumultuous winds that sweep across the Chaos Wastes, only a few knew this was to power a portal within the Citadel that led directly to the Chaos Realms. The gate was destroyed when Ursun roared. Ursun is the bear god of the Kislevites.
Okay.
So yeah, the Howling Citadel has some recruitment stuff, but yeah, I think they did lose some of their recruitment structures when we did the thing. They did lose a fair amount of their recruitment structures when we took the Writhing Fortress from them.
Right. So who is tougher, the bear god, or Thumbnail Bear?
I don't think that they would ever come into direct conflict. I think that the Thumbnail Bear is for sure a devotee of Ursun. He's a badass bear. He loves a badass bear god.
Chat, and people in the comments, tell us how much you love Thumbnail Bear.
Chat.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Your brain has been poisoned by watching too much Dead Blossom Jesse.
Whose fault is that?
Well, probably whoever keeps putting on all the Dead Blossom Jesse.
It's you.
That is me. All right, so clearing the Howling Citadel would present us with one of the 2 remaining points that we need. There's also this tiny Chaos army that is forming up next to us, so we should be able to hit 13 for Kasich right as we close out this faction. And to be clear, I have no interest in owning the Howling Citadel. It's so far away from everything else we control, and it's just like out in the middle of nowhere. It feels indefensible. But maybe we should take it and then we should scoop back and like try to get rid of the Norskins and just like make this whole northern area our province.
Mm.
To use the word province differently than it is being used in the game currently.
My host rots while we chatter.
Which is a good thing, to be clear. What I'm trying to tell you is that things are going very well for me. There's a lot of folks in the north named Crom. It's an extremely common name. It's their version of Bort.
Okay.
So yeah, we'll knock out Crom Chimerax and then move on to the Howling Citadel. While enemies threaten to come up at us. Oh hey look, we're gonna get a bonus payout for doing the thing we were already definitely going to do. I do think let's cut something. Maybe a unit of Forsaken. I'm going to cut a unit of Forsaken.
Dead weight does not always have use.
Because I want Uncle for Uncle. I mean, I guess, okay. One thing that we might want to do, I suppose, is leave some powerful units in the recruitment pool for the secondary army so that it can, like, we can throw it down and just, like, jump up to a nice high power level immediately.
Okay. Excuse me. Okay.
Yeah, maybe we should do that. You know what I'll do with this empty slot, actually? Let's get some more guns. I think I'll grab a second unit of blunderbusses. The fireglaves are cool. But we don't really need the anti-large so much. We need the anti-grouped infantry fire more, I think.
Yes, yes. More and more. Master of
All right, you're gonna run away, which is just an annoyance tactic. Like, I'm wasting a ton of movement chasing you into the woods, and then having to come back out of the woods. 13 infections, I suppose, is fine. It was a small force. We were never going to get a lot of payout. And then we could use a little replenishment, so I think we'll stop right here on our side of the line. It should be no problem to reach the Howling Citadel next turn. Try to knock out this hero as well. Damn. Yeah, that'll be fine. I was like, I kind of want to add more Winds of Magic, but I also kind of don't. So, like, here's where we gotta kind of make a decision. Do we want to try to hold this territory? Because we could rebuild the Burning Monolith, and then come over and sweep this stuff up and take our settlement out to the water and try to hold a much larger. I guess this is the only way we're going to get the money together to run more than one army, right?
Yeah.
So, all right, let's start rebuilding. Pox Hand down here needs to get eyes on Grimgore. Dragon's Death is going to build defensive structure. I mean, we don't see any orcs yet. Do we want to keep pushing a bunch more money into improving our infection rate? So I made the frog building here, so now we want to make this one. Okay, all of the basic recruitment buildings up and running and cycling. Feeling pretty okay about that. It took us a really long time. It has turned 51. And there are some of our lesser troops that we still don't have access to. But we're getting there. Oh, over here you can see another point of interest, the Brazen Altar, dedicated to the Blood God. The Brazen Altar is the lair of the dread fleshhound Simirgul, one of Khorne's favored pets. It's pretty cool looking. It's very metal.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing. This whole thing is very metal, and so I guess that does reduce the grossness of it to me a little bit, just because it's just like that's the kind of overwrought, hyper dramatic, gross out intentionally, you know. It's just death metal up here.
Yeah.
All right, so they're trying desperately to get a last army. It's just like something. Can we muster something? But no, it is far too late. Research rate up for 6 turns or casualty replenishment rate. Honestly, I think our casualty replenishment rate is fine. I know I rarely say that.
Desolation for all!
Okay, so this does have a proper 20 unit garrison. It has real defenses. That said, we showed up with a block. And they do have, for some reason, 3 units of chariots in their city defense force. You know, maybe it's a little bit more interesting if you are willing to open the gates and ride out on people. If they, like, leave their siege gear, or their faction destroyed. If they leave their, artillery undefended or something, you could use the opening to ride chariots out into them and do some real damage.
Okay.
We've unlocked a regiment of renowned soul grinder. When steel becomes corroded and arrows turn to ash, there is little wonder as to why no one survives this esteemed guardian of Nurgle's garden. Kasich the Befouled has increased his fealty level to committed, and so even more movement range bonus. You got an extra. No, it's still just 1. Tamarkan has gained physical resistance, I think. And Kasich the Befouled is now Kasich the Committed. Okay. So, in theory, we could teleport to a battle if we were not currently in a settlement. Obviously, we're not going to take that on right now. We just hit the hour in the episode. We are going to grab a Virulent Contagion. And then, what else here? We do, of course, have some high-ranking cavalry in our army. Speed 10%, melee defense 5, physical resistance 10%. That's a pretty good buff.
My power waxes.
You can grab, terror for everybody. Who doesn't love causing a little terror? Got you reasonably hard to hit. I guess just like more damage doesn't feel necessary, you know? He's already crushing people. Is there something here that would be better? He's got a ton of melee attack and melee defense. He doesn't really need... Honestly, he doesn't really need any of the things he can get. Missile resistance is reasonable. You know, large units can be brought down by massed fire, but I haven't prioritized it here because we're not really fighting armies that have ranged weapons.
Right.
Let's finish Occam's Mind Razor. Okay. So, recruitment health up for all units, recruitment costs down for all units. You know what? Sure. Let's grab Plague Incubation real quick. And then, you know what? We'll probably actually be able to move past that now that we're generating infections at like a real rate.
Okay.
That's pretty fantastic.
Yeah.
Cur the Lore needs to now start updating me on the positions of the Norscan armies. It would be great if we could bring these forces down.
Whichever woeful day it.
So you guys have 1 settlement. You guys have 2. I suppose at this point, because we're so much stronger than they are, we could probably just bully them into submission. By which I mean, like, we could just take the peace treaties and stuff.
Okay. Nice, stop annoying you.
Maybe. Holly Citadel, let's get defenses and money and growth, I guess.
I really admire your ability to keep making these. There's a lot of little tiny decisions to make, and I think why I struggle with, because I've played a little bit of Endless Legend,
Mm-hmm.
and which is a 4X game, and a little bit of Pharaoh. And one thing I struggle is the length of the games and how many little decisions there are to make.
Yeah, particularly as you gain more territory.
Yeah, it just kind of bogs down for me. And does it feel like it bogs down for you with this game, or at what
Yeah,
point does it feel like it bogs down for you?
yeah, we're hitting it. Like it does. I continue making the decisions because what else am I going to do? But it does annoy a little bit for sure.
Yeah, I feel bad because like you said at the beginning of either this episode or the previous episode, I've kind of seen everything, so now we're just enjoying playing Warhammer, and we are enjoying it, but I feel like I don't have a cool insight other than Thumbnail Bear is cool. So I feel like I don't have as much to articulate or ask about, and that's frustrating for me.
Yeah, I can understand that.
I want to be a
you
good co-host.
You can still comment like as a person who designs warfare games and battle games, which are sort of two different things.
They are.
You still can comment on like the tactics and the strategy stuff. You can still tell us
I have
fascinating stories of real world military history that I don't know anything about.
Yeah, I'm just and when those opportunities come up, I do try to perk up there. I don't know. I don't want to feel like I'm leaving you hanging.
You know what? I'm going to accept peace from Tong.
Okay.
I don't need to have so many enemies. And especially since defeating Norskins no longer provides us with fealty that's valuable because we've maxed out that guy.
Yeah.
So we're gonna look into this battle next time. I might want to redesign my force a little bit. I know I said that thing about saving some of the powerful units for the other armies, but I think we're probably ducking out of this campaign in a minute. And I
Once
do want
we do that battle.
I do want to show off our cool units. Out of curiosity, it would be 6 dominance to get me a toad dragon. I really want to see a toad dragon.
Okay.
So maybe we go earn 2 more dominance.
Short-term goal is Toad Dragon.
Is there a Toad Dragon in the Regiments of Renown? No, we've earned all of our Regiments of Renown. Okay, so yeah, what I probably want to do is win a couple more fights, get us a Toad Dragon, then take this army, updated with the Toad Dragon and the Great Unclean One, and maybe the Soul Grinder, just so we can show off the cool units.
Yeah,
into,
and then have
that
the
devoted
cool
battle,
fight.
And then maybe we'll leave it there. I think we will have kind of seen the thing. And as far as our objectives go, Goldtooth is down there somewhere, still alive and thriving. Grimgore is a huge and terrifying force. Like, we are not close to the end of a campaign, not even a short victory. Here, 3 chieftain devoted battles is definitely going to be something when you consider that Ezar is still 16 points of fealty away from his own battle. But I bet each one of these battles is cool.
Yeah, but I think seeing one of them will be enough for
it'll give us a sense
purposes.
of the thing.
And it's what I've been looking forward to it.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm surprised at because with the previous campaign, the Compass people.
Yeah.
Like, we got to that first Compass point pretty quickly.
I don't know how much that counts, given that I just immediately lost it again. But yeah, this one definitely feels like...
the first one that you actually built, like, I do feel like that happened quicker than this first devoted battle is. We're 53 turns in.
Maybe. I don't know.
Right now?
Yeah. This definitely feels like a longer campaign than some of them, even to get the short victory. But that that's part of what I like is that there's a lot of variance.
Yeah.
Over the forces and stuff. Anyway, that's going to be it for us for today. Then that's a sort of a soft plan for where we're going to wrap this one up, and then there may or may not be one more very brief Total War Warhammer thing before we move on finally to another game. So, come back next time for a demonstration of Kazik's fealty, or perhaps our fealty to him. Are we helping him out in these devoted battles? I don't know. I guess come back next time to find out. And we'll see you then.